Lovely and wonderful to see everyone. Okay, cool. So we have a good frame rate, 60 out of 60 FPS. This is an interesting looking. They changed some stuff in the UI, which is nice. But yeah, come hang out and say hey in the YouTube chat or say hey in the TikTok chat if you're there. Um, what's up? Some of my current musical influences are I don't know. I really liked Scaring the Hose this year. That was really good. The JPEG Mafia Danny Brown project. I thought that was fantastic. Um, I'm always listening to whatever Casey Musgraves does, like songwriting wise. What else? I'm still very much on board with 100 gecs. I like I like that hyperpop is bigger than plundering one genre. I am excited to hear what they do next. Um, Janelle Monáe is awesome. Open Mike Eagle slaps. Shit like that. A lot of different kinds of shit. Good evening, Wizlord. Let's get into this. Let's figure out what was going on with this Do You Fear What I Fear? Save changes to Untitled. No, we're not going to save changes to Untitled. Nonsense. I'm going to restart recording this stream too in case the audio is bad on the stream, but better. I guess the audio is going to be the same, but I'll have a local copy of it. An advantage for some reason. I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate this track, mute it. I don't know, maybe I should just mute everything and just play to this new tempo, because I did speed up the tempo a little bit from where it had been. Yeah, let's zero these and try to get some new takes. Let's actually try to get this guitar tuned up correctly. Oh yeah. Do I have this in my pocket still? No, of course I don't. I had the thing I needed in my pocket. Oh, I didn't. I took it out of my pocket. I plugged it in already, so I do have the thing I need. That's great news. That makes this next part even easier. We're going to have to tune this sucker. And it really needs it. Because that E was flat. Everything was all flattened out. I'm going to be back for all these strings. I'm just going to try to get them in the ballpark. Something like that. It's a little sharp. And that's a little flat. Might be easier to decide if I actually plug it in. I still have a lot of playing on this guitar to do before it's like warmed up, played in kind of thing. It's gonna have a nice sound. That's what my guitar nerd friend said when he played it for a minute. It's good to have a guitar nerd friend. Flip that switch. Plug this in. I think it's going to be possible to get that speaker to play this guitar through Ableton. That is my, it's not even my stretch goal, it's just my regular goal to get the sound that I'm looking for into the place that I want it to be, and to facilitate people watching it on TikTok as well as YouTube at the same time. Cool, so this should turn on. And then I should be able to get signal through here, and I should be able to monitor it. New audio track. Oh, sorry for bad audio on TikTok. If it's coming through these headset microphone, that's not going to sound as good. We'll take these off for now. Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you. So this can be track 4, which is where the guitar comes in. If I turn the amp up, does it, wait, oh, did this turn off? Oh, fudge. Did I lose my power? Or did I just, are the lights just off to save battery? I'm trying to figure this out. I think it's doing something. These headphones on. I think I can hear something. It's just not very loud yet. Nothing. If I push the button, it definitely changes amps and stuff. If I turn it all the way up, everything's dialed up. Oh, of course. My monitor is turned off. Thanks to whoever said that in the chat just now. Hey, Glum Hippo, nice to see you. Yeah, it's a good time to chill. I'm going to be working on getting this guitar tracked. See if I can monitor this guitar. I think I can. It's an interesting amp. Something like that. Let's try to get a take. Unfortunately, monitoring is not going to work because there is a little delay from when I'm playing in the room and what's happening in the headphones. So it's one of those things. Yeah, we're keeping it moving. I'm going to get this thing done tonight. I think we're going to try to do 4 verses. 84 BPM. Give me a metronome to play to. Turn this speaker off from here. All right. I'm rushing a little bit. Run that back. Not quite. We'll keep it going. Try it again. Try to get a cleaner transition into... I wonder also if I should use a pick. Might make it sound a little tighter. That could be nice. Give it a shot. See if we like it. Cool. Guess who wasn't recording though? Actually, it turns out I didn't have a track armed, so that was a lot of like good playing, good practicing. But let's do it for real this time. Interesting. See, I had this loop back point too from the earlier thing where I wasn't going to do a fourth verse. And so that kind of cut that take off. But if I made this longer, I wouldn't cut the take off. I can take this little part here, bring it back and stick it on the end there, and bring this back to the beginning, and that's the guitar take. That's a nice sound. I don't know if there's anything I even want to do to it. I think I'm going to let that ride. I'm just going to let this be one take, and I'm going to try to get another one. Hopefully by 10 I'll be ready to start singing. But I'm really going to try to give this guitar some time and space to be itself. I'm going to try to get this recording the best I can. Channel 4. Cool. I'll give it another go. It's a pretty good take. We're gonna get some vocals. Just want to remind anybody watching that it's always a good time to think holiday gifts, particularly this time of year. And right now, I just want to remind everybody, I'm not a cop. If you get my DRM free music on Bandcamp, or you subscribe to the Patreon and you're getting all the downloads that are tagged download over there, and you're like, I want to copy some of these, I want to burn some of these on a disc for some sort of romantic flame that I'm trying to ignite Love Actually style during this snowy season, I can't stop you. And if I could, I wouldn't anyway, because that would be jerk behavior. So that's just a reminder. It's thirdperson.bandcamp.com or patreon.com/thirdperson. I'm a great one to support this holiday season, because not only do you literally keep the lights on and food in the fridge for me and my family, but my shit slaps, and it's worth hanging on to and sharing with your friends. Good conversation starter things. All right, let's see. I have these lyrics. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I think I need another Do You Fear What I Fear verse at the beginning. That's like existential. I like the idea of a time. A time. Because if we say a time, and then go to a world, and then a state, and then a child, it sort of reverses. It doesn't reverse, but it cuts laterally maybe against the direction of the chorus's movement in the original. So it's going to be a time something. I'm writing the first verse as the last verse that I write, which is sometimes a really good idea because you know what you're getting at. But let's just let this guitar play for a second. I want to save what I've got. It was a good improvement on what I had before. It's like a full song guitar track. It's already a really nice warm sound too. Like we could play with it a little more. Doing some instrument mixing. That's not bad. This is just called Huge Guitars. And it's just exaggerated stereo processing on the master chain. It really did open that shit up though. Where it's the imager, and I can affect how wide those get. I just brought down the width of band 3 to make the string noises sound less stereoized. Oh my god. My siblings are trying to start a hard seltzer bracket. Or hard seltzer bracket. Maybe I should record this in this mic. Just keep it dirty. Keep the mic real close. Check 1, 2. Yes! Yes, you motherfuckers! Mic 3! Ha 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 ha! Alright. What are we gonna write for this first verse? Trying to turn the volume off on this, but I can't find a quick switch. Maybe this will do it. There's a lot of character in this little amp and guitar combo. I'm going to play around with this a lot more this winter. This sounds nice. Writing the words where I know they're going to be, and then the ones I don't will follow. The important thing is to not stop writing. Like the mechanics of putting the words down, it doesn't really matter if you have an audience, if you're by yourself, if you feel like writing. The shitty part of this is if you're doing it, you're doing it, and if you're not doing it, you're not doing it. And even just writing the words that you're not sure about first, or the words that you are sure about first, rather, it's a valid thing to do. Because, like, what are you waiting for? You're trying to hold the whole thing in your head. So I've got a couple lines in here that'll live there. Trying to think about rhymes, so I'm just going to write a few first line ideas and then see which ones are riper for rhymes. There's plenty of things that I'm afraid of in the world, but it's not that hard to like put them into a meter when I think about them. this guitar with a little light EQ too. As I listen to it on loop, I hear stuff and I'm like, oh, we can try to play with this. Whatever. That's like one of those amateur things that you do when you don't really hear your EQ very well. You're putting all this little stuff in it, but I'm doing it. I'm trying it. I'm going through those steps. Another first line opportunity here. I wrote two like what if lines for the verse, and the two lines rhymed with each other, and I just noticed that they did. So that's a verse. And once again, as I write the verse, I decide to reverse the order of the verse. So I'll just do a little cut. Oops. Oh, this is cool. You can kind of see this happening on the YouTube too. Hey Margot, thanks. I'm glad to be here. Thanks, Nick. That's just how I'm EQing right now. I appreciate you. I forgot I did. I wanted to say thanks a lot. Do you have a TikTok topic, by the way, that you wanted me to discuss? Because that's the new game that I'm doing. Is I'm doing $20 TikToks, where people get to choose the topic of a TikTok that I talk about. But yeah, I'm very grateful. All right, so I think we can try to get a take here. The police keep gunning people down. Do you fear what I fear? Billionaires are building underground. Do you fear what I fear? A time, a time. That's right. I didn't have the verse written. That's right. Thank you very much. I like that idea. I like that idea. I feel like Doom could do some definite, like, yeah, I have some ideas about. I was thinking about some really mundane type songwriting topics, like stuff that's like just rooted in who we are as humans, and we don't talk about like behaviors that we do that are innocuous and not harmful, that we just do them. Like for example, the practice of like I'm walking around, I'm kind of bored, I'm not listening to music, so I have a stick. It's a really thin stick, and I'm breaking it up in centimeter pieces. I'm breaking the stick. I will break the stick down from the thinnest part to the thickest part, and then the stick is gone. And I keep on walking, and I find another stick, and I break little pieces off of that stick too. That could literally just have been. That could be the whole song. But like, I want to have maybe that be. I feel like Doom could talk about, like I don't know, like the way at a laundromat that you sort of anticipate what dryer you would want your clothes taken out of, like according to like what adjacent washers there are. Like if somebody's gonna pile your clothes up frustratedly if you can't get back in time, I feel like he could do something there. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. Thank you. We'll get that going. Let me finish writing this verse. Oops. Cool, it's only 10 o'clock and I think I'm ready to record this. I'm just like doing little tweaks. I'm going to pull up this lyrics one more time, which I still think I have in the browser here. Doom. Doom. Maybe I don't have it. It should be in my history, though. I want to see more about this. Oh, here we go. This might work. Run this back. Think about how these choruses line up. Thanks for hanging with me, by the way. Hope you're having a chill time. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I love this little... This is called Home Office Music Entertainment, and home is capitalized. So it's like a... It's a bottomless acronym. It's got no base case. I didn't record because I was on this... I was going to do this mic, not this mic. I forgot which mic I was using. I should just use this mic, though. Because this mic sometimes has buzz issues if I don't really sit and listen to it. I'm not in like a really sit and listen mode. It'd be nice to tie it back to the original song, but if I get too close to it, I get really backed into like a lyrical corner. It's just something to watch out for. I think that might be a good rewrite. And it's little stuff like, do I want a may or a could? I think I want a could. Oops. What in hell's name? Okay. I think I got 4 verses here. Just like the original. I think I've played 4 verses on the guitar pretty well here. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, happy to create a hangout space. Happy to hang out with folks tonight. You can also follow Third Person at patreon.com/thirdperson, or just check out the live stream link if you want to see what it looks like in computer worlds. We are here at home where the recursive acronym definitely is. I'm writing words down on the iPad here and getting ready to sing them into a microphone. Let's see if we can get a decent sounding vocal take before 10:30. That would be super cool. Try to put on my vocalist hat. Check, check. All right. The police keep gunning people down. Do you fear what I fear? Something like that. Let's hit it again. The police keep... Yeah, don't need to sit on the ass too much. The police keep gunning people down. Do you fear what I fear? Billionaires are building underground. Do you fear what I fear? Keep it going. A time, dripping with distress, it will put us all to the test. It will put us all to the test. Gaza bombings seem to never end. Do you fear what I fear? Donald Trump is gonna run again. Do you fear what I fear? A world tipping on the brink, it could end as quick as a blink. It could end as quick as a blink. Housing prices beyond people's means. Do you see what I see? Charging folks to get the new vaccines. Do you see what I see? A state, fucked up by the rich, they could drive us into a ditch. They could drive us into a ditch. I don't know how I picked this key at all. Microplastics swimming through the seas. Do you know what I know? Thermostat just jumped 2 degrees. Do you know what I know? A child, shivering in the cold, could be far too warm when they're old. They'll be far too warm when they're old. It's like kind of a sad Christmas song. It's about paranoia, fear and stuff. Gotta refill that. Yeah, I don't know why I picked that key that way. I think I picked this key. Maybe I was just looking for something that had an easy 7 and a 5 chord with it. I think that's what I was mainly thinking of. So I was like, oh, A works. Oh yeah, and then I also wanted something where where the 7 was sonically below the 1. And like where the note of the 7 wasn't above the note of the 1. Yeah, way back in the time of code boot camps, I would sing Crawling by Linkin Park in the style of John Valjean. That was very fun. There's something here. There's something here. But this isn't the take. But there's enough here that I can, like... We can figure out, like, some reverb things. Make it sound nice like how the guitar sounds nice. It's going to be tricky to get the right reverb because the guitar's already got its own kind. But let's just start by putting something on, and then we can always like audition different stuff. Oops. That's pretty good. I think that this might be... Appreciate you. Thanks for the supportive words. I'm right now thinking about if I want one of these reverbs at all, or if I want one of these, maybe a hall reverb that's like really, really light. We try something like that. It's closer. Dynamic. So many things we can do with this EQ. This is just the three band. And that blows it out. Let's hit this with a limiter before we reverb it. Longer decay, maybe? Cool. This is just a real cheery holiday song. The song review thing. I don't know. I think the song review thing. That's a good point. I don't know why I don't do it. It's a good question. And there's not really, it's a very safe zone for asking me why I'm not doing a certain thing. Because, like, usually the answer is I haven't tried it, so I don't know how much I like it yet. And so if there's anything that I like even a little bit, sometimes I get stubborn against liking other things. Because it's like, I've already got a thing that I like. It's right here. I like it. That's usually my end. That's like that's the short answer. I just haven't tried it yet. But yeah, I think that's it. This is very decay-y. It was at 180. Room was 30. We probably need like some sort of de-essing EQ on here, which I think yeah, there's a multi-band de-esser. And it is a very effective out-of-the-box de-esser. Yeah, I should do more music reviews on TikTok. And probably on YouTube as well. Cool. I did get good engagement on the Lil Wayne stuff. Thoughts on anime? That's an interesting topic. Anime is too broad. There's a lot of stuff in anime that's like not good. There's a ton of filler. That's my thoughts on anime. That if you're so into it as a genre that you're watching like all of the shitty anime, I think that you're doing something similar to like people that like watch all the shitty horror movies, which is like, it's not bad, but it is like also, it's like you're being a collector of events that are maybe positioned as less popular to begin with, which might be more about being a collector of a unique collection, even if you have to go far, far away from what you really, really love the most to get it. Sometimes it's just you get into something and you just drill into it. But yeah, I think there's definitely some people that are like, they're trying to be knowledgeable about anime as much or more than they're trying to like anime. So I guess that's not really a take on anime. That's a take on fans of anime. But I think also that like some people are just so into anime and they meet somebody else that's like willing to learn about anime and they're like, oh my gosh, I have so much to teach you. And they start like spouting off like 8 or 9 things and it's like that person just likes anime a lot. Good for that person. No harm, no foul. Let's see if we can get a couple more good vocal takes on this. This doesn't have to be that intense. Doesn't need a ton of like instruments in it. But with the steady tempo, I'm going to get myself in trouble if I try to do too much at once. So I'm just going to try to stay relaxed and sing from the heart. It's nice to visually check and see that the speaker's not going to make sound before I go. Nice. Yeah, I gotta get in on this trend. I gotta get in on more things that people are doing. I've been in a very precious mindset. I'm trying to fix it. The police keep gunning people down. Do you fear what I've... Yeah, it's close, but it's not quite there. Let's try it again. Actually, we can start here. We don't need to do the double lead in every time. The police keep gunning people down. Do you fear what I fear? Billionaires are building underground. Do you fear what I fear? Maybe. Give it a listen and see if we like it. That's pretty good. I just gotta trust myself. Self-trust engaged. The police keep gunning people down. Do you fear what I fear? Billionaires are building underground. Do you fear what I fear? A time, dripping with distress, it will put us all to the test. It will put us all to the test. Solid start. We'll just keep it going. Gaza bombings seem to never end. Do you fear what I fear? Donald Trump is gonna run again. Do you fear what I fear? A world tipping on the brink, it could end as quick as a blink. It could end as quick as a blink. Housing prices beyond people's means. Do you see what I see? Charging folks to get the new vaccines. Do you see what I see? A state fucked up by the rich. They could drive us into a ditch. They could drive us into a ditch. Microplastics swimming through the seas. Do you know what I know? Thermostat just jumped 2 degrees. Do you know what I know? A child, shivering in the cold could be far too warm when they're old. Could be far too warm when they're old. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. Cool. That could be a take. That might be the take. Might be the low take. We might get some higher vocals too. Just to have an option. Actually, that's not even insert. Let's duplicate. 0 out. Nah, not 0. Just mute. Bring this in. Start from 3. But I don't need to do all that though, because I really just need like verse 3 and 4 like here. Yeah, that could work. All right. Let's get a take up here. Housing prices beyond people's means. Do you see what I see? Charging folks to get the new vaccines. Do you see what I see? Blowing that out. It's too loud. Needs to step back. Step back, microphone. Don't need all you in my face. Housing prices beyond people's means. Do you see what I see? Charging folks to get the new vaccines. Do you see what I see? They could drive us into a ditch. Something like that. We'll just double them. See what sounds good as we go. Microplastics swimming through the seas. Do you know what I know? Thermostat just jumped 2 degrees. Do you know what I know? A child shivering in the cold could be far too warm when they're old. Could be far too warm when they're old. Good tidings. Great cheer. Shit. I'm gonna hit that again. I'm doing it correctly. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. That's just fun to do. I don't know if that actually makes it into the song, but it makes it into my heart. All right, so let's see. And do you fear what I fear? Donald Trump is gonna run again. Do you fear what I fear? A world All the in-betweenies can leave. Housing prices beyond people's means. Do you see what I see? Charging folks to get the new vaccine. Maybe this voice joins second. It's sitting there, it's there, but it's like back in the mix. Prices beyond people's means. Do you see what I see? Charging folks to get the new vaccines. Do you see what I see? A state, fucked up by the rich. They could drive us into a ditch. They could drive us into a ditch. Let me leave that alone. Just snipping things out that aren't singing. Microplastics swimming through the seas. Do you know what I know? Thermostat just jumped 4 degrees. Do you know what I know? A child, shivering in the cold could be far too warm when they're old. Microplastics swimming through the sea.
Oh, yeah, microplastics. Oh, wow.
Do you know what I know? Do you know what I know? I think that'd be an interesting way to do it. Microplastics swimming through the seas. Do you know what I know? Thermostat just jumped 2 degrees. Do you know what I know? Yeah, that works. Maybe. Let's hear it. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. Cool. Just U bits. Just that slide over one. A little closer. Nudge these back one. Definitely that hiss in the mic, which isn't always there. And I think it's definitely because of my setup in here being just too close together. I'm going to probably end up reinventing my whole shit next year. And just don't let the hiss dominate. It's not enough hiss to mess up a take. It's probably actually adding something to it. Like fidelity-wise, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's grit. It's, you know, it's nice. But fact of the matter is, you got 3 of these mics with no sound going into them, running at the same time in the mix. And it definitely sounds like there's some sound coming out of them. And that's just how it's going. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, go for it, Mark. The police keep gunning people down. Do you fear what? I'm just gonna cut that out. It's gone now. Do you fear what I fear? Billion. Don't need the breath. Billionaires are building underground. Do you think all this can go? Do you fear what I fear? A time dripping with distress. It will put us all to the test. Yeah, that happens sometimes. There's certain positions in this room where like this microphone's really buzzy, but then other times where it's not, and I can like, if I get it in a certain angle like this, then it won't buzz. But if I go like this, it'll buzz. If I turn it 180, it'll buzz. Do you fear what I fear? Donald. Cool. Donald Trump is gonna run again. Do you? Thinking of funny TikToks to market this song. And one of them is like when the mushrooms kick in at the holiday party. Do you fear what I fear? No, this is the wrong environment. I didn't pack my emotional bags for this one. No. Would be a kind of a way that you could be. A world. I can already tell I don't want that in there. World tipping on the brink. It could end as I've done that before too. I've done it with old shirts and like hoodies. I have all these old Code Boot Camp teaching hoodies that I haven't gotten rid of. Housing crisis beyond people's means. Do you see what I see? Charging. That's where the crackle really kind of starts to get in there, doesn't it? I've got to like watch some of these in-betweens a little bit more. And there's also the matter of the mix is still a little heavy on the low end or high end. Housing prices beyond. That's dope. Gengar's watching you record is a vibe. Do you see what I see? Yeah, it is a little flat. That's for the last step. That's why I'm not that worried about it. Because I'm going to run this through Melodyne. I don't have the time to get a perfect vocal performance, but if the energy's generally there, then I'll keep the energy and then I can change the tonation, intonation, whatever. You know, it's like one of those things of like, do I want to spend more time every day warming up all parts of my register? Absolutely, I do. Do I want to do a full vocal warm-up every day? Totally. Yep, sounds great. Do I have the time every day? Not really. Am I going to be like Lauryn Hill and make an excuse? Like, you're just going to get what you get on the mix. That's just it. That's just me. No, I'm not going to do that either. I got too much respect for my shit. A state, fucked up by the rich. They could drive us into a ditch. They could drive us into a ditch. Yeah. Some of these notes I'll probably have to come back and hit first thing in the morning, but I am planning on doing a very early stream tomorrow morning. Microplastics swimming through the seas. Do you know what I know? Thermostat just jumped 2 degrees. Each of these sections here, the do you know what I know, the middle parts here, I'm going to have to like treat them as their own gain problem. Because they each are louder by, let's say, 3.5 decibels than their neighbors. There's nothing wrong. It doesn't make them a bad neighbor. But we just gotta make sure we rein them on in, you know. We don't need anybody taking over the whole choir with their utterances. Because that's not a joyful noise. Okay? We're trying to make a joyful noise, not a cacophony. Because ain't nothing joyful about a cacophony. Except for the sound of the word itself. Sort of the opposite of an onomatopoeia, when you think about it. All right. There's definitely some pitch stuff in that midsection too. Do you know what I know? A child not as much the second time, but definitely the first time. In the cold could be far too warm when they're old. Could be far too warm when they're old. I wonder if I cut this sooner, if it's not going to sound as... Yeah, I think this got to cut like right on the... That's better. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. So silly. It's a very silly way to end a song. Very just sarcastic. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. We don't even need that S. Good tidings. Great joy. Getting close. That's not bad for a couple hours. That's not bad. Have I done music professionally? I have. I've done music professionally in different times in my life. There's been times that I've done music professionally as a main thing, and also times that I've done music professionally as a side thing. Right now we're in an era of my life where I'm doing music professionally as a main thing, but I'm not a gigging musician because of COVID. So I'm actually attempting to be somebody that's very visible on the internet and just reminding people at all times that they can go to patreon.com/thirdperson and you can support the dream of me being a professional independent musician. You can actually make it real for like $3 a month. It's not even that hard to do. And all it takes is if like 1 out of every 100 people that followed me on TikTok was supporting me on Patreon like that, like voila, we'd be there. Basically, we'd be there. Like the bills would be getting paid off of that, and then health insurance would be its whole other, can of worms. But I'd still be doing good TikTok takes. I'm not. I'm not trying to retire off this. I am trying to take my family on vacation off this though. Like fuck with me for real. Patreon.com/thirdperson. Check out those annual options, because I'm putting music out of various genres, pretty consistently and pretty constantly. And it all gets to the Patreon first. So tonight it's almost 11. If I take a Thiirsday night too long, then I stay up forever. I don't get to bed until 3 or 4. I wake up tomorrow feeling like shit. I don't get good food in my body until like 1 or 2 p.m. And then I don't really get a lot of music stuff done in the afternoon because I'm digesting the big lunch meal. So what I'm going to do is like, maybe we'll do, yeah, right? Like I feel like that was the real... Like, there was a little fun vibe of energy. I felt it. When I said it, I was like, yeah, that was a good... I might clip this later, I might even clip the TikTok live delivery. But yeah, professional is like... Sometimes people are, like, in the studio all day. And I can't be in the studio all day because I have a kid. So I actually just have to, like, figure out a way to work smarter than, like, being away from the house 40 hours a week. I have to figure out how to, like... make a part of my house into a place that's really nice to make content in and send it from. And then I have to figure out ways to key into the immediacy of the moment. I think this Do You Fear What I Fear parody has it's already got a lot of juice. Good tidings. The police keep gunning people down. Do you fear what I fear? Billionaires are building underground. I also think this first Do You Fear What I Fear, I think was a little late. So if I bring this back. Yeah, I love Ableton. It really makes it easy to like move stuff around. And most of music is arrangement, I think. You're saying, like, there's always notes, but you put them together in a certain order. Like a melody is like a very crude arrangement of notes. Like you could say an arrangement at its most basic is a melody. Like you're saying this note goes next to this note for this long. And then arrangements where you're just taking sections of that and putting them together. But I think this works. I think that guitar, choosing to go more rhythmic, once I heard how the guitar sounded in that first playback, and then deciding to go less mushy and a lot more pointed and punchy in the guitar playing, anticipating that the sort of fuzziness and the reverb was going to make it sound real bleedy. I think that's a nice sounding guitar. I'm going to turn this down in my headphones a lot. Yep. The vocal's way too strong in the mix. Which makes sense because there's this big limiter sitting on it. If I turn the limiter off, it does sit it back further. I wonder if I popped a limiter on the guitar, though, just to make it fair. Is that going to mess up the whole mix or not? We're going to find out. Gaza bombings seem to never end. Do you fear what I fear? Donald Trump is gonna run again. Do you fear what I fear? A world tipping on the brink. We're gonna put this all in a group. Then we'll drop all the vocals about 5 decibels. And we'll turn it down even further. Turning the speaker off. I just gotta hear this in headphones really quiet. It's a mixing strat. Yeah, the pitchiness, especially in the beginning of when it's the octave mark, it's really evident in that first phrase, and it's even more evident, strangely, at the low volume.
Microplastics swimming through the seas. Do you know what I know? Thermostat just jumped 2 degrees. Do you know what I know? A child, shivering in the cold could be far too warm when they're old. Could be far too warm when they're
I wonder if I do this, which this is like a real lazy thing to do, to like artificially extend a vocal line, and it usually doesn't work, like even if you blend it together like that, but just to fix the timing. It worked! Trickery. The magic of production. No one need be a perfect performer if you learn how an edit button works.
Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy.
We should start it with a good tidings, great joy chant, I think. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. It sounds like a good idea, and we're going to fucking do it. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. Yep. Then we gotta just get out from under it. Great joy. And it's gone. Do this again. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. Yeah, that worked. Charlie Bucket. Cut out the in-betweens. They say don't mess with Mr. In-Between. They say don't do it. I think we should hit one of those just to hear how it goes before I log off. What I fear. What I fear. What I fear. That sounds pretty. What I fear. What I fear. Good tidings. Great joy. That sounds like it's a move. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. Let me get these spacebar clips. Get the clicks of the spacebar out of my ass. Get them out of my ass. They go too fast. They go too damn fast with their fast attack. They make a little sound that sounds like a whack. My name is MC Chris. I used to rap like this. Aqua Teen, Hunger Force, I'm only taking the piss. I lived at 642 Wharf Avenue, and I had a whole lot of raps to share with you. I said that eating ain't cheating, and it's still true. And I always try to swallow every time I chew. Yeah. All right. You're welcome. Good tidings. Oh, that's so good. It's really a song about how hard it is to fucking enjoy the holidays in the middle of a fucking genocide. Urgh. Good tidings. I did it wrong. Good tidings. And this has to hit at the right time, too. Good tidings. Yep. And maybe we take both of these and we turn them demonic. We turn them into fucking demon sounds. We go into fucking warp mode, complex pro, keep the formant number low. I don't need your energy to reshape my formants for me. I just want the pitch going down, make my voice sound like a frown. Just kill this entirely. Kill the reverb at all. That's actually fucking effective. We're going to cut that down by about 6 decibels. Just let it whisper at us. Great joy. Yep. Great joy. Nope. Great joy. Yep. Great joy. Yep. Nailed it. Complex Pro. Turn it down low. Get the performance low. Just an idea. But we can handle this Melodyne shit in the morning. That's the stuff that really throws me in rabbit holes. Right now, this is all easy. Just add-ons before I go to bed. Nope. What I fear. Nope. Hit that better. What I fear. No, hold it longer. Hold it longer. That's why I'm doing it. What I fear. Yep. What I fear. No. What I fear. Nah. What I fear. That's better. What I fear. Too low. What I fear. It's not ready. What I fear. No, too fast. What I fear. That'll work. What I fear. Nah, What I fear. Nope. Gotta walk it right. What I fear. That worked. That's fine. Everything else needs to go. I just want the fun little effects. What I fear. What I fear. What I fear. I can still do that better, and I'm gonna. What I fear. What I fear. We'll get here. What I fear. Nah. What I fear. Right on top of it that time. That could work. What I feel. Cool. What I fear. Close. What I fear. Yeah, let's just fucking Tom York this shit for a second. Something like that. Good tidings. Yeah. So we'll throw a couple more in here. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. Good tidings. Great joy. That great joy's got to be really, it's got to be right on it, because then it has to get out of the way of the vocal. But I think this makes sense. These little ad-libs are fleshing out a little song. It makes it feel like a real, a whole thing. A whole damn production. Once again, too much S on the tidings is fixable just by taking the very start of this S and then just like making it end at the same time as the first one. what I see. What I see. No, run it back. No, just play. No, don't. No, record. What I see. Sure. What I see. Too much. What I see. Let this ride out. Let this play out before the clicky clicks. No, I didn't mean to go all the way back there. Boo. What I see. What I see. What I see. They could drive us into a ditch. They could drive us into a ditch. They could drive us into a ditch. They could drive us into. They could drive us into a ditch. They could drive us into a ditch. They could drive us into. They could drive us into a day. Anyways, cool. I've procrastinated ending the night, but I'm going to end the night because I've got to get to bed at some point, and it should be sooner rather than later. But this is a nice little spread. Look at that. We got ourselves a little arrangement. It really does come together. That good tidings, great joy stuff. Oh yeah, let me throw a couple more of those in. Great joy. Great joy. Yeah, this one could sound a little breaking, a little broken. Great joy. Good tidings. Great. This really fucking works. Not bad. Not bad. Happy early Bandcamp Friday. This is going to go up on Bandcamp. I wonder what my fear photograph is going to be. I'm going to find something. That nails the energy. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's export this. Get this popping off on a little private SoundCloud file. Do we fear what? Yep. Do I fear what I fear? Yep. Put it in the project, in the set folder. What are we gonna call it though? Export and call it. Do you fear what I fear? Oh yeah, that was from the morning. So we're gonna call this Do You Fear What I Fear? Ruffle. Cool. Thanks for hanging with me. If you want to support directly, Cash App, Ko-Fi, Venmo, PayPal.me, it's all third person. Patreon.com/third person to support me on a monthly basis. At the $3 a month tier, when I finish a stage of work and hit a milestone like this, which is basically like, there's some tuning issues that need to be cleaned up. But a lot of the timings, a lot of the edits, like the snipping out of in-between sounds, finding some good mix that like together makes it sound like there's a vibe that I want. All of that stuff like is achieved. We started that this morning and got like to a really rough scratch at like 11:25, and it was too slow, and I was trying to put bitch in the lyrics for some reason because it was like a first draft. And I was like, let me rewrite, and then let me replay the guitar. When I sat back down, the guitar sounded a little like eh. So like, yeah, this is the kind of work that I'd really like to be able to get done in a day, every day. And I'm really pushing for it. And what helps me to stay focused and push on a daily basis, at the very, very least, a couple times a week, to sit down and really, for multiple hours a day at a time, try to push something towards done, whether it's a song or an album or a project, like in between, like an EP, whatever you want to call it, a demo. What I want to do with this is make it be 5 to 6 songs that are all holiday songs that have been like reappropriated. So I want to make one that's like Silent White, which is just about just kind of being complicit under a supremacist system. Yeah. What was I going to say instead of sleep and heavenly peace? It was like, maybe wheels been pleasantly greased, something like that. Like what it takes to like get somebody to sit on the sidelines when like things are burning. I wanted to do that. My kid has this idea for all I want for Christmas is gifts, and I think that's brilliant. And I've been trying to like write that out. I think I have like a verse. Yeah, it was like, I hear lots of songs each Christmas. Every year they each repeat. Celebrating faith and family. Lights and love and snow and sweets. But I don't need things like those. There's just one thing I propose. My one-line wish list. All I want for Christmas is gifts. And then we get into how, like, a lot of people want there to be a certain vibe, the family to be nice to each other. I don't really need that. We smiled for the pictures, and I can't expect much more than that. But the only thing I do expect, though, is material things from those family members. And there could be a verse about, there's a third like regular pace verse, which could really just be about like how like I don't need the baby Jesus. I don't need that baby Jesus. Peeing in his swaddling clothes. I don't need to hang the stockings. Maybe, I don't know. I think that mistletoe is from the original lyrics, but I might be like something like, I don't need the something. I don't need a flavorful feast, something like that. I don't need to like have a baby Jesus. I don't need to have a big dinner, because all I really need is for people to bring me gifts. So like that's what I'm going for, is like all the other nice things that people say are the real value of Christmas. We're gonna try to just make the most overtly materialistic Christmas song ever. From the most overtly materialistic Christmas song ever, by the way, because even I think it's Mariah Carey herself every year who's tweeting like, yeah, I do be getting about 100 mil from this. Like, over the course of my career, this song has made me money hand over fist. So it's like, well, let me have some. I'm going to make a parody and then I'll put it on my Bandcamp. So that's going to be one. So that's like 3-ish. And then I think I really wanted to do All Is Well, because that was one that I always used to sing with my choir, and it's a genuinely beautiful song. And I think I wanted to redo All Is Well and take the parody lyrics of Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, and sing them to the tune of All Is Well. So like, Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin just laid an egg. Batmobile lost a wheel, and Joker took ballet. Sing ballet, sing ballerina. And here's the thing. I don't know of any other verses that to Jingle Bells Batman Smells. So I might actually have to go into the fucking DC universe and find other things that happened during my All Is Well re-singing of the Jingle Bells Batman Smells, which I think thematically and artistically is so me. It's such a me thing to do. It's so on brand that I'm sticking with that. And then also, what was another one I wanted to do? Possibly Oh Holy Night. I wanted to make one about poop somehow, or like farts. We'll think about it. But like I think the goal is that tomorrow I want to get up early enough to do a morning stream where I put some finishing touches on this. I find the really egregious melodic issues. We go through Melodyne. So what I'll probably end up doing is freezing and flattening all of these vocals. Like each of these lanes. We could even do a save as. Do you fear what I fear? Flattened for mellow. Dying. So we're going to rename this one, call it Flattened for Melodyne. We're going to take this track. We're going to freeze the track. It's going to take time for that to happen. I've already bounced the audio out. So I'm going to go over here to SoundCloud and upload what we just made. I like that this is sort of becoming a nice sign-off ritual, is like taking the deliverable from the stream that we just did, putting the deliverable thing, like the milestone recording, up where it belongs so it's easy to see. And so people can get to it if they're on the Patreon. And then if you're not on the Patreon, it's like, oh, that's all I have to do to get it. It's just $3 a month. And then there's other stuff that they've been working on, and I can get access to all that stuff. Yeah, just look for the tag called download. So I do this private SoundCloud upload every time I put music up to be downloadable by a Patreon supporter, so that they can go and stream it if they don't have like the bandwidth where they're at when I release something for Patreon. So this Do You Fear What I Fear, which I would say this is a serviceable enough version of this song that you could definitely be memorizing it at this point. You could be singing it at parties, being a big ass downer, like just shout singing in baritone over the speaker. Seems like a very pro-social behavior to engage in. I recommend it wholeheartedly and unreservedly. This is where the Christmas parody work starts. I think the parody EP is going to be called Steal These Presents, and I'm very excited about all of that. Ignoring rights. Yeah, I'm cool with remixes, Charlie, for sure. In general, like, I would, as long as you're like naming me, especially, this is an era of my life that I'm gonna be cool with remixes. All the exposure ends up being good exposure because I can then let people know that I have a Bandcamp or I have a Patreon, and like when I do these lives, I end up going and checking my email and I find that like somebody threw me some cash. I've got a couple of TikToks that I've got to make tomorrow because people have been tipping me $20 and they've been telling me what they want to put in a TikTok. So I've got to make a TikTok about a strategy for a midday nap that works, which is part of why I'm doing an early stream tomorrow, so I can attempt to do a midday nap where I don't lose my feeling of humanity when I wake up and I can get back to work. So I'm going to do like a lunch nap, big late breakfast after the morning stream kind of vibe. And then the other video is about what happens if Doom or A$AP Rock wrote a double that was so deep and so dope that they like completely lost the plot on it. And so anyways, I just realized now I do not want to flatten these tracks like this, because I'm flattening in. It's like an overstep. I really should just go in like, not worry about freezing or flattening. I should instead just deal with the stem as the stem, because that reverb can be changed. But if I flatten the reverb in, and then I auto-tune, it's going to auto-tune any reverb artifact that's also in the mix. And that's going to throw those things off. I appreciate you, Mr. Crane. Thanks for supporting my work today. I really, really appreciate that people have been, like, clearly not just, like, enjoying my music for themselves, but, like, I ask occasionally for you to, like, tell people who are like yourselves about what I'm trying to do, which is pretty simple and straightforward, which is just keep getting better and keep making songs and, like, live a life where that can be just the thing that I do, which is a pipe dream, I think, for so many people. And it's been a pipe dream for me my whole life. And I think there's just been something in me that's kind of, like, loosened in the last year where I'm like, is it a pipe dream because it is a pipe dream, or is it a pipe dream because I'm not asking enough for what it would take for it not to be, which is really just for more people to support. Because, like, I've got a lot of popularity on TikTok, and I'm really just looking for 1 out of 100 people who follow me on TikTok to support me on Bandcamp or on Patreon. And then I think everything, like, lines up. So I tag this download, and I tag it holiday, or I tag it maybe steal these presents. Holidays parody, maybe? Yeah. I haven't done parodies in a while. Love a serious holiday parody. Cool. That's good to go to those tiers. Not a scheduled post. It's there. Publish now with the link, with the files. They're up. I've been on for 2.5 hours, give or take. 2:15. That's good work. That's like not from zero, because I had been playing it earlier today, but I got a good guitar take down, like as my 3rd or 4th take. Got a good vocal down as like the 3rd take, I think. A good enough vocal that, like, yeah, you know, we can all hear the pitchy stuff that's going on in there, and at the same time it's like, I can move on. I don't have to, like, make tonight be about how I'm not a perfect vocalist, so the work is done. And then you get these other takes in here, and it's like, oh, some of these takes are really pretty and don't need auto-tune. And it actually helps you to figure out which ones do, like the more vocal takes that you add. So thanks again to especially Patreon supporters on TikTok and on YouTube and around the world, wherever you are. I appreciate that you're here, because it keeps me focused, it keeps me motivated, helps me keep on, like, trying to roll this snowball up so it gets big enough to cover this house payment coming next month, which I feel like maybe 3 days ago was a very conceptual goal, and now it's like, oh, we're getting into December, so I just have to make this happen somehow. And it doesn't make it feel more scary, it feels more achievable, because it makes me have to be in front of you more, but I feel like that's sometimes where I'm at my best and shining my brightest. So I really appreciate the motivation and the inspiration to bring forth my best effort on my most meaningful work as regularly as possible. And stay tuned, because I don't think this is the only thing that might come out tomorrow for Bandcamp Friday. Really appreciate you for being here. And tomorrow, we're going to polish this up, and maybe we'll also release that potency, high latency, high rap song in full. Depends on how productive the morning is and how hard I can hit the melodyning. I don't want to do this, but I'm kind of gonna do it. Which is, I think I'm gonna drop Melodyne in here before that reverb on every track before I go to bed, so that I don't have to think about it tomorrow. And because, like, right now I'm pretty confident this is where I want it to live. Right before the reverb, 1 per track to catch any mistake I might be making. I've only got 4 vocal tracks because I've been pretty disciplined. You know me, if you've been watching me do this, that like I'll have these mixes splay out. Cool. That sets me up to win tomorrow. Patreon stuff delivered. TikTok, appreciate you. Yeah, self-promotion and marketing is really hard. Tomorrow, my real challenge is to recognize that, like, yeah, I'll have one new song out for Bandcamp Friday, but that's not the only thing I can talk about on Bandcamp Friday. I know that there's a lot of artists out there that they have a Bandcamp page and they've released like 4 or 5 projects that they're really proud of, and I've done that 4 or 5 times. Like, so I know that I've got enough stuff that I can talk about. I can talk about Icarus tomorrow. I can talk about Blart tomorrow. I plan to talk about Intermission tomorrow. I plan to talk about High Lactane and Night Drive Music and Hustlebound for people that are fans of like short instrumental projects. And of course I plan to talk about Accidentally Did Drugs and I Don't Want to Pee while also crying and puking and farting and shitting. Because all of those are important. They're all part of what I've done. And it's very easy to remember, like, only the last thing I've done is the thing that, like, feels like it counts. Because it's the thing I'm currently working on. But I have to remember everything else that I've, like, released. I worked on at least this hard. So I'm going to stop recording the local computer now. And I'm going to say goodnight to y'all on TikTok. I appreciate you very much. And I'll see you next time. Probably tomorrow afternoon, maybe, in the afternoon, Eastern time. I'll see you, like, around 1-ish. And probably in the morning, but I don't tell TikTok that, I just show up. Alright, y'all. Another, I would say, successful Thiiirdsday evening. It's not always about the numbers and the results, but today was like a good day for numbers/results. And I see that, like, people, like, even just on this last stream, I caught a couple, there's a new Patreon member on the annual, and then another Bandcamp discography sale, and then somebody who wants me to talk about whatever I want on TikTok 2 times over on Cash App, which just makes me feel so good. It really makes this feel possible. Like, if for every couple hours I am live in front of people, I can, like, make these sales. It just feels like busking. And then it's just a matter of, like, how do I live so I can put in enough hours on being in front of people? And I think I've already cracked some of that because it's like I don't have to take all of my prep time off camera. Like, some of the time when I'm building something that exists, that didn't exist before, can also be time that counts as busk time. I think I'm figuring it out. I don't really think there's a ceiling on this shit. I really don't. I've listened to podcasts for almost 10 years now, where it's just like people that don't write songs, that barely write original jokes, and they just kind of sit around and they chop it up. And there's like tens of thousands or even sometimes hundreds of thousands of people that like subscribe to those. And what do? They have an outline, and then every week they like read stuff that's on the outline. They put a good outline together. They got editors and stuff. I'm like, shit, I can do that stuff. And I make a little music too. Thanks for fucking with me. I appreciate you. We're going to get some of these videos done. I need to learn more about the mechanics of the song review thing, too. Figure that out. Maybe hop on a live, and then if somebody tips me with, like, a Galaxy, then, like, I'll play whatever the song is that they want me to play, and then I'll talk about what I think about it. I could do that. Absolutely would love to. No, Mark, don't feel bad about the flat comment. The flat comment was great. We talk about that all the time. Like, you asked first if it was okay to receive vocal feedback, and I was like, oh, they got something about that low take, that low vocal take that's so shaky, they're going to tell me that it's not perfect, but that's okay, because I know it's not perfect. And then you were like, oh, it's a little flat in a couple of spots. No biggie. I was like, I got you. I know. And I will be coming back and melodyning that, because otherwise I'll hear it and I won't be able to like promote it as well. When I do the melodyne work and I tune those little things up, then the next content that I get that it becomes that much more powerful, because I'm always on Team Auto-Tune, and then somebody's like, I can hear when people use Auto-Tune and it sucks. And it's like, well, why don't you listen to this really like stripped down guitar and vocal holiday rendition of my fears about the world that you might relate to. Anyways, I'm procrastinating logging off because I'm procrastinating going to sleep. But if I log off by midnight, I'll be asleep by 1.